Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another coffee rant with Dano and Frank, our Patriot Bald Eagle. Tonight we are going to be discussing some items that we should probably start stocking up on right now, or at least getting them before they start going up in price. We're going to go over a few different items. Got a few things we're going to talk about today. Just kind of hang out with your buddy Dano here, and we're going to just sit and chat about some things going on, some things with life in general, and most importantly, talking about these things that I believe are going to be going up in price here very shortly. Number one, things that we already know that are going up in price are different meats. Well, I think it's going to go a little beyond that. I think different packaged meats like Oscar Mayer, some other different deli meats and stuff like prepackaged products, I believe these are items that are going to start going up in price. Why? Because it's been a while since they have gone up in price, and right about this time last year, we saw a huge influx in prices on different packaged meats. Now, there's some other things too with that I believe are going to be going up in some canned goods. I think Keystone meats is going to be going up in price. We've already seen where some great value canned meat products have gone up in price, and it's not going to be long before we see this happen in some other products across all stores. The way I look at it is when we see it go up at Walmart, it's not going to be long before it goes up at other places. Now, with meat prices, this is something that's a no-brainer, but the reason why I wanted to talk about this first is because I think we're going to start seeing less and less sales. I think a lot of the meat has capped off as high as a lot of stores are going to be able to sell it, but we're seeing sale prices higher than we've ever seen sale prices on meat before. So if you are looking to stock up on some different meat products while you find them on sale, these are items where I don't think that they're going to go much further up in price right now as what we've been talking about, like the second or third week of July. They very well could. I don't know, but what I think is going to happen is we're going to see less and less sales because these places are going to start or the sale prices are going to go up. I look at that as price increases, though, because if you shop like we do, well, we wait for these deals. Well, the waiting game may take forever these days with some things, and some things we've seen that have come down in price, like some different water and stuff like that. These are things that I also believe that we may see less and less sales of, because people start talking about it. You see it in the store and you see, oh, well, Ice Mountain 24 packs went down from $5.99 to $5.69. Well, they're on, and at the same time that happens, we see, and I'm paraphrasing, I saw at Meijer they went down from $5.99 to $5.69 regular price. And right as that happens, they're $3.99 on sale. So this could be the last sale that we see at $3.99. Like $4.99 might be the next sale. We don't really know, but still, water especially, good item to stock up on for any case. Any case. No pun intended. But, it's one of them things that we want to make sure we have, especially as we are in the heat of the summer. It's going to be 92 degrees here today in Cincinnati, Ohio. Glad we're well stocked up on water. I do a lot of traveling. I go a lot of different places. I always make sure I have a water. I also keep some water in the car, too, which I think is a good idea. Even though it's going to be really hot, it's always good to have some water on you for any reason. Now, back to some of the canned goods that we were talking about at the beginning of this video. I think because of the huge price increases that we're seeing on different, like meat, different beef, I think this is going to start, you're going to start to see some price increases on canned meats too, because as they're still playing catch up, eventually this is going to happen. So some of these prices that we've seen, we get a lot of comments on Keystone meat, so I wanted to just kind of throw this out here. Walmart is really the cheapest place to get it. Sometimes if you can order it through their online service, you may be able to get a better deal on shipping than what you would get from actually the Keystone meat company, because they charge a lot for shipping. They really do. And we've gotten stories from some of our viewers that have been able to get it a lot cheaper on shipping through Walmart. So do a little bit of research on that. It may vary from state to state, city to city. Now here's one I want to talk about here. let's not forget our pets. Okay, pet food. There's been issues with pet food. We've seen multiple recalls over the last year. There was some recall on one of them not too long ago. Let us know down in the comments if you know which one that is. I saw it. I saw it in a news article. Didn't really get to do a lot of research on it though. But there was one that was recalled not too long ago. But there's been several recalls over pet food, and as to where we haven't seen huge price increases on pet food lately, I believe a lot of these things are going to add up to prices going up on your pet food. And again, as I always say, if you're having issues finding pet food, check out Chewy.com. Chewy.com has really helped out a lot of our viewers over the last couple years when we were dealing with some massive shortages on pet food. Chewy.com was getting it in even when PetSmart wasn't. So something to keep in mind there, but we can't forget about our pets. We want to make sure we have plenty of food for our pets. I know a lot of our viewers cook your own food for your pets. I think that is awesome. It's always good to know, what's going into the products. Always read the ingredients. I know some people message, email me and stuff, say, Dan, you should read the ingredients and stuff. For what I do, I don't really have time to do all that. If I'm buying it for my pets or my family or friends or anybody, I read ingredients on things that I buy. I'm well aware of a lot of the different, GMOs and stuff like that, and the different things going on in some products. Now and you can't just not go to the store. There's been products that have changed, right? There's been some products, which I won't go deep into, but you always want to check the ingredients to make sure that nothing has changed. A lot of these companies are now being forced to let if there's bioengineered ingredients in them, and that's why we're starting to see these all over these canned goods. Now, I know I may sound like a broken record here to some of our regular viewers. I apologize, but we're always getting new viewers that are asking us the same questions from older videos, so I like to address these things. Feel free to let us know down in the comments any products that you have noticed lately that you may not have bought, knowing that there was bioengineered ingredients in them. You may not have bought them. We have a pretty good stock on things that, back a couple years ago, there was issues. Now there's more things on the labels, and I'm questioning, wow, I didn't know. How could you? If they weren't forced to put these things on the labels, we would have never known. So I'm glad that now companies have to put exactly what is in different canned goods and stuff. Also, this right here, I know this is kind of bothering me. I hope it's not bothering you. I've got the sun. I had to do this coffee rant early today because I am going to Kings Island Amusement Park with my family later, and going to just hang out with them. Might do a little video or something out there. I don't know, but had to do this early. So the sun is pointing right at our blinds, and if that's bothering you, I apologize. Maybe not. Maybe you didn't even notice until I pointed it out. But anyway, other items, coffee, obviously. I know we talk about coffee like it is going out of style. I got news for you. It's not going out of style, but it is going to be going up in price. We saw Folgers skyrocket at Walmart. Now, apparently, and something that may have slipped through my fingers here, apparently Folgers has been going up in price everywhere. Okay, everywhere. Now, I don't know what it's like. It hadn't gone up at Sam's Club. Okay, you still get the 43.5 ounces. I believe it's still $11.98. I believe it is. I know it was on sale like a month ago for $9.98. I hope everybody was taking advantage of that while the opportunity was there. We saw where Maxwell House did shrinkflate. Okay, the 30.6 ounce containers are now 27.5 ounce containers, which is ultimately a price increase, right? I mean, it's the same thing. Even if you're paying the same price, you're getting less product. So you're paying more ultimately for that product. You're going to be 3 to 4 ounces short of what you normally are. I mean, that could be the difference of a couple pots of coffee. And we saw where Original Donut Shop and Green Mountain Coffees just shrunk in size on the Keurig pods. We're seeing a lot more bags of coffee now that are 11 ounces instead of 12. This is kind of how they're hiding this, guys. They're not coming out and saying anything either. And, they don't have to, right? But I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just how I am. It's like, if I I would, put out some kind of courtesy note or something. I know that they probably have to save on advertising too, so that's not really feasible to put something like that on the product, like a sorry for the inconvenience, But and speaking of sorry for the inconvenience, some new viewers have been asking me what those are. Well, they usually mean a lot of things. Like if Kroger isn't getting a product in, they're gonna slap that. Excuse me. They're gonna slap that sorry for the inconvenience sticker on there. So you kind of get an idea that, okay, well, maybe it's not in. And then if you see a sorry for the inconvenience sticker on a product that Kroger has, right, if it's on the shelf, right, if that sticker's on there and you see the product and it's something you use, buy some extra, because chances are, they may have just gotten it in and haven't removed the sticker, or they know what's coming. They know that the order maybe didn't go in, or they weren't able to get the shipment, so they're getting ready when it is gone. And I know some people are going to say, oh, they do that to sell more. No, not really. I mean, believe me, the thought has run across my mind a couple times, but since I've been doing this for years and years, I've realized that, well, some of these products, like different spices and things like that, when they're gone, nobody knows when they're going to be coming back in. And the reason why I know that is true is because it's not just Kroger, it's every store, right? We see it at Walmart, we see it at, just anywhere. Any specific spice, whether it's a certain brand or not, some of them may come from the same place and just have different names on them. I don't know which ones are which, but, it could be like, similar to like Tyson. People always ask me, which products are Tyson products, that are either prepackaged or fresh. It's like, Tyson is a lot of chicken. I mean, it's, Members Mark at Sam's Club is Tyson chicken. Some people said Walmart chicken is Tyson chicken. I'm sure it is. It's, Sam's Club and Walmart are pretty... Yeah, I always find it crazy how much difference there is between Sam's Club and Walmart, but either way, Tyson covers a lot of chicken. People said that Kirkwood chicken from Aldi is actually Tyson chicken. So, there may not be many ways around it. I know that Meyer chicken is not Tyson chicken. They privately source out different areas down in Tennessee, different private farmers where they get their chicken, and it's probably why it tastes so good. I love Meyer chicken. It is fantastic. Most of you who've been on the channel for a long time know that me and Jessica love Meyer chicken. It's really the only chicken I buy. So I think we went over water. Water's important, especially during the summertime here. Also, I don't know how much it is affected. It did make landfall. Hurricane Beryl made landfall in Texas earlier. So if that's affecting, I know it's not as big as what they originally thought it was going to be, but still, a hurricane is a hurricane. I don't know if it went down to a tropical storm. I know it was kind of fluctuating there for a little while, but I know we have thousands of viewers in Texas who watch our show here. So our thoughts and prayers are with your families. Hopefully you're safe. And, I'm sure, whenever you live in these kind of areas that get hurricanes, if you have friends or family that live in these kind of areas, like in Florida, Texas, Louisiana, these are the family members. If you're talking about stocking up on things that you should have in an emergency, these are the family or friends you should be talking to, because they are ones that always have to make sure that they have a stock of water, some extra food. Canned goods makes a lot of sense, because, if things get tossed around, things get mixed around, a canned good has a better chance of surviving than a bologna sandwich that you have just tucked away in the fridge or something. I don't know. I was just kind of throwing that out there. But I mean, canned goods are good. Just make sure you're not in the line of where they could possibly fall or something like that. I don't really know where I'm going with that. I was just saying, we talk about being prepared on the channel a lot. And we want to make sure that if these things, if you need ideas, it would be good to speak to some of these family members. Like, well, what do you do? What's the whole thing with the, it's like down in Florida, we have a lot of family members and friends that when a hurricane's coming, the first thing they do, they have those little screw hole things in their windows. They take the windows out and then put the wood plaques there. Some I don't even think they take the windows out. I think they just put the wood thing over the windows. Now, I'm just saying, like, these kind of things are good ways to think, especially if you live in a disaster zone if there's a hurricane. But yes, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Texas right now. Hurricanes are no joke. Me and Jessica drove, when we were driving down, we had skipped a day. right? Because we weren't going to drive right into the hurricane, but we pretty much did. If you guys remember Hurricane Irma years ago, me and Jessica were driving down to Florida and we waited a day. We waited for it to completely go through Florida. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. If you guys have been on the channel for a long time, you probably remember when we traveled down through Hurricane Irma, and it was just devastating all through like Florida, and we saw like signs down, like highway signs like down in Georgia, southern Georgia, and all that. It was just crazy looking. And you know, it's like, it just shows you how far up. And the reason why I mentioned Georgia is because it shows you how far up a hurricane can really do a lot of damage. I mean, Irma, like, okay, say here's Florida on the map. Okay, here's Florida on the map. Here was Hurricane Irma, like completely covering, and it was like we thought we were going to have to cancel more of our trip, and we after the second day, it had gone up into the states, and kind of it still stayed together. I mean, the after effect was through Kentucky. Like, once we got through southern Kentucky, it was just rain, 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 rain. And then I think it wasn't until we got to, like, I don't know, maybe just south of Macon, where all of the rain had stopped, and then we started seeing devastation from the hurricane. And it's like all these little life events, you know, kind of click in my brain over the years. It's like, you know what? Anything can happen. Anything could happen, and it's good to be stocked up on things, you know, at least enough to get you by, you know, in a situation. Always good to have different emergency items, you know, different medicines, different things, first aid kit, stuff like that. And I don't care where you live, it's good to have these kind of things because you just never know what's going to happen. Kind of went off track here, but, you know, we are expecting some food prices to go up here in the next week or two. Now, I didn't really go over it at Meijer a lot. I didn't see a lot of price increases on things that people were asking about. I wanted to focus on just the deals. If you have Meijer and happen to miss that video, it was literally the last video that I did, so check it out. There are some deals, but as we say, they're not as good as they used to be, and that could be what we see moving forward. Right? We've seen prices go up to the highest amounts that we've ever seen in life. And over the last few months, I would say even as early back as like February, we've seen less and less sales on things. Sales. Now, we've had times here, like I will say Kroger, some other places did a good job over the last couple weeks, holiday weeks and stuff like that, having some really good deals. Excuse me. These are the things that we got to kind of wait for. Right, and this is why I always say stock up on the sales as we see them, so that we can make it to the next round of sales. Right? If you can't, and this is something where if you can't afford, you know, to really stock up on these things, well, look at how much you know you're gonna really save in some of the long run. If you're getting products that you normally use at half price, right, half price of what they are now, really that's what the regular prices were. A couple years ago, maybe a year ago, a lot of things have gone up 100%. 100%. Most things have gone up 50 to 60% in the last couple years. I don't know. I mean, people always talk about, you know, hyperinflation and all these things. I feel like we've already been through that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But you know what? The not knowing is the knowing that we need to be on top of these things. We need to make sure that we have these things and get them when that they are at a more decent price. Because the more we save now, the more we're going to save in the future. Right? And if we all shop with the mindset that, okay, I'm not going to pay, you know, we all have our limits, as we've talked about on the channel. I have my limits. There's things, I don't care if it's 50 cents more. Right? I'm not going to buy it. You know, and that's just some items. Some items, you know, you have no choice. I get it. But some things I don't. Some things I don't. And that's just the way it is. You know, and it's like, and really it kind of takes that kind of attitude from everybody to start driving some of these prices down. Maybe that is why we have seen a lot of stores driving prices down. Now, I will say, you know, out of a place that I really thought was going to drive a lot of prices down, you know, Walmart, you know, came out and claimed that they were dropping a bunch of prices. Now, this is something that may still be in effect, and they may still be slowly dropping some prices on things. As far as food goes, though, I haven't noticed anything that has stood out to me at all. Nothing. Now, clothing, We know a lot of different clothing has come down in price, so those are some things. I don't really check out toys, so that could be something. Maybe tires or car oil or some of the other things. Maybe we need to go to Walmart and check out some of these things. Let me know down in the comments if you would like me to check out Walmart and some of the different prices on clothing and some of these things. Trying to, do videos like this every now and then is to where the main focus of this part of the channel, minus some entertaining videos that me and Jessica put out here for you guys, we try to focus on food, because food is really the thing that has constantly been going up throughout the last few years. I mean, it's just, and it's something we just have to think about moving forward. Now, back to canned goods, really it was like the main thing. And, canned goods are something that are good long term. Some, make sure that you're checking the best of use by dates, though, because I have checked some canned goods that are that should be a few years out that have been like 5 or 6 months until the best of use by date. I know they're good past that and everything, but you want to get the freshest possible, right? And I guess if we don't have a choice, we don't have a choice. So a lot of people been, if you have the ability to grow your own food, have at it, guys. I know we have a lot of people that grow their own food on the channel. Obviously, that is the healthiest, best way to do it, but not everybody has, a land or stuff to grow things. Now, you don't have to, you can grow stuff on your porch. You can grow stuff in your home, you can really do that. Is it going to really amount to much, though? Not really. Not really. It's like, I've grown tomatoes on our balcony and stuff, and it's like, throughout the whole summer, it's like, it was nice. It's nice to get them. If I had a yard where I can yield, a lot more product, that's different. But anyway, just wanted to throw that. A lot of people have been talking about growing their own food on the channel lately, and I think that's great if you can do it. If you have the space and everything to do it. If not, we got to rely on the best prices possible, and that is what I try to do, is always try to find the good deals. It's like I've been, I was determined that even if I saw some different things go up in price at Meijer, there were a lot of things at Meijer yesterday that you guys saw this morning. That video was this morning. That I was like, well, these sales kind of stink. They're not really that great. But then I remember that, okay, they're not, these prices they're not coming, some of these things aren't coming down. I don't think they're ever coming down. Some of the name brands, and here's something else too. I've been noticing store brands kind of having more sales than name brands. I'm not finding a lot of name brand anything on sale. And if we do find it on sale, it's not really that great of a deal. Digital coupons and stuff like that are basically a deal that the store and the manufacturer has worked out, because neither one of them are going to take a hit unless both of them do. Right? I mean, at least that's my thought in it. Someone may take a hit or every now and then for holidays, like if Doritos, or the Pepsi company or something, if they know they're going to sell a ton that week, right? That's why Kroger has the buy two get three free deal, because they're still making $20. They're still making millions and millions of dollars off of it, and they're getting rid of the old product. This could be Pepsi and Coke products that you may not even know about that were from last year that they just got to get rid of. I don't know. It just, that's the way things are. That's why we always, people always say, well, check the expiration dates, read the ingredients, all this stuff. For what I do, I just don't have time. Sometimes I do. I'll check something, like if there's anything in question, I'll just show it in the camera. Oh, okay, yeah, this is good until whenever. But I expect everybody to do that anyway. And I don't really have the time to put all that into like a segment, it would take a whole separate video of me doing that, which, maybe do that someday. But anyway, those were a few items I wanted to talk about today. Food items that we should definitely be stocking up on before prices go up. I do believe canned goods are going to be going up too. Again, we're seeing some of these things at Walmart. We haven't seen any. The funny thing is, okay, now Kroger has had their, knock on wood, they've had their canned vegetables for some of them for 89 cents, 99 cents for a long time. And I gotta say, they've kept them there. Now, as to where some of the different frozen vegetables and stuff where they've gone up to $1.25, Well, if you stock up on enough of them when they have, their sales for $1, which I'm out of those, because they haven't had a sale on them for $1 in a long time. And there was a long time there where I refused to pay $1.25. And then I started trying some of the other different ones. And I was like, oh, there's a reason why Kroger is $1.25 here, because they're great. Kroger frozen vegetables is my favorite. Now, their canned vegetables, different story. I'm not a big fan of Kroger canned vegetables. As you guys know, we like Del Monte. But when it comes to frozen vegetables, I'll pay the extra quarter now for Kroger because they are really good. Really good. It all started one time when I had gotten a couple bags of mixed vegetables from Meijer, frozen vegetables. Now, great value from Walmart's pretty good. Okay. And they're still 98 cents for a bag of mixed vegetables. But I made a big thing of vegetable soup. Okay. And I used all Meijer vegetables. I was like, some don't taste right with this. And I was like, I didn't do anything different except used Meijer frozen vegetables, the mixed vegetables. And as I was going into it, I was like, yeah, these vegetables just don't taste that good. Real bland. I don't know, but I've had Meijer vegetables before, and it was like, they're just not that great. They're just not that great. I'm going to be honest with you. Can do in a pinch, and a little cheaper than Kroger. Not really, though, because the smallest bag, $1.09. Okay, so yeah, a little cheaper than $1.25. But for me, it's like, I have to go with quality. There's a difference between food for survival in case something happens, and then food that, I need to eat. I want good quality here, and I will pay the extra few pennies to have that. And that, it's just the way it is. It's like you want a good pot of vegetable soup. Don't use Meijer frozen vegetables, I guess. And I could have had a bad bag, but like I've said, I've had Meijer frozen vegetables different times for years, and I just remembering back on that, it's like they're not really that good. I don't know. But anyway, guys, those are some of the items that I wanted to talk about today, and just kind of put this out here as a constant reminder that we need to keep our heads on a swivel. Make sure you're stocking up on the sales as you see them, because who knows what the prices are going to be like next month or next week or even tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.